I had a bumper crop of peppers this year. I decided to lacto-ferment some hot peppers. I used jalapeños, which mine weren't very hot this year, unfortunately, so I made sure to include quite a few hot banana peppers and serranos. Now, I often use grape leaves for fermented cucumbers. Watch for that video soon. And that's because they help keep the pickles crunchy due to their tannins. Tannins prevent the cucumber cell walls from breaking down and softening the pickles. So I decided to try some grape leaves for my hot peppers, which sometimes get a little soft. Now, tannins are a type of phenolic compound in woody flowering plants that are important herbivore deterrents, meaning they help protect them from chewing insects and animals. They are secondary metabolites which protect the plants from being eaten. Primary metabolites are involved in growth, development, and reproduction, so they're essential for survival and existence of an organism. Secondary metabolites are not necessary for growth and development. Their production is influenced by environmental factors, such as being chomped on. Now, salt is important in lactic acid fermentation. Salt helps to prevent pathogenic organisms from growing. And so it allows good bacteria to establish themselves before pathogenic microbes can gain a foothold and spoil our goods. Lactic acid bacteria are acid and salt-tolerant bacteria that digest simple carbohydrates to produce lactic acid. They also produce carbon dioxide and ethanol and sometimes acetic acid. Now, the amount of salt for lactic acid fermentation should be between 2 and 5% of the total weight of the water and whatever we're fermenting. The more salt, the tangier the end product. Fermentation time can vary greatly depending on the amount of salt used as well as the surrounding temperature. In general, warmer temperatures speed up chemical processes and cooler temperatures slow down those chemical reactions. Now, I like to use around 2 to 3% salt, and we keep the house fairly cool, about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so about 2 to 4 weeks usually works for me. But I like to taste about once a week until I like the flavor and crunch level and make sure everything stays submerged under the brine. I also prefer to use an airlock to keep out oxygen but let other gases escape. Of course, you can use a loose-fitting lid and just burp it periodically if that's all you have. Lactic acid bacteria can be found on dairy products, on the skin of fruits and vegetables, and even our own skin. All of this microbial fermentation is anaerobic, meaning it occurs in the absence of oxygen. Lactic acid fermentation transforms simple carbohydrates into a sour acid. Now, this lowers the food pH, which also inhibits undesirable microbes that can cause spoilage. This helps to preserve the food and lengthens its shelf life. Salt also helps to draw out the water of the fermenting fruit or vegetables, and this creates a natural brine in addition to the water. It's full of nutrients for the beneficial microorganisms, and it also makes things taste delicious. Now, these peppers were just the right topping for some of my spicy chicken chili made with my delicious homemade salsa.